Hey guys, good morning, good morning. We're here finishing up this section 8.4 trigonometry. We're going to find trigonometric ratios using right triangles and use trigonometric ratios to find angle measures in right triangles. Sorry, my jaw is still asleep. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, so we finished this up yesterday. Let's just come back here and quickly review what it was about. The most famous thing is SOHCAHTOA. Do y'all have any questions about SOHCAHTOA? Remember, it's going to be asking about sides that are going to be like the legs, which are opposite hypotenuse or adjacent hypotenuse, those sides of a right triangle. And then there's a ratio that they're equal to, right? Sine of A is equal to this ratio here, and sine of B is equal to this ratio, and so forth. Now, when it comes to all of that, there's going to be several questions. Like if you see this, they're giving you a number here. Sine of some number, angle degree, okay, is equal to two other numbers, side lengths, okay, that ratio. Now, if you look at this, there's three things here. They're going to give you two slash you find the third. And that's it. Can you use menu 3.1, Diego? You should be able to. Can you use good old solving by hand? Yes, you can. Either way, you still need the calculator, okay? So let me just move it on down. First off, they start showing you stuff. Come on, machine. Acting weird. Okay, here they start showing you like sine of P, sine of some number, which is angle P, is equal to what? Opposite over hypotenuse, so it's equal to 15 over 17. Quick review, guys, because you do have an assignment today. Okay, so we're going to have some questions like this. Remember, sine of P is equal to the opposite over hypotenuse. Cosine of P would be the adjacent over hypotenuse, and so forth. Okay, and when you, that P, when you kind of do that stuff, when you do the sine of Q, sine of P, cosine of P, T, or whatever, it was going to be equal to that. Not the angle, but when you did the sine of Q, it was equal to that. Okay, let me see over here. Moving on. Here, using that idea, we could figure out the unknowns over here. So if we wanted to come out here and find like x, and there was this right triangle like this, and we had this angle over here, 5 degrees, we could do sine of 5 degrees, cosine of 5 degrees, tangent of 5 degrees, using right here, 1, 2, and then using the third one to find, or be the unknown, and we could find it. So according to 5 degrees, this would be opposite and adjacent, so I would use tangent. So tangent of 5 degrees is equal to opposite over adjacent, or 5, tangent of 5 is equal to x over 100. Multiply here by 100 to get rid of this denominator, slash the 100 winds up on the other side. And then that would be what you type in the calculator, and that's what your x is equal to. So use the tangent SOHCAHTOA ideas to find the unknown. Do you have any questions over this, guys? I'm looking at the chat right now. Anybody have any questions? I know my bones hurt because of the cold weather coming in. I'm sorry about that. I'm a little slow today. But either way, do you have any questions? Tell me so I can go slower, or I can go faster, or whatever. Nope. Good. Eileen, thank you so much. Let me give you some ideas here. Some more practice problems like this one. Okay, according to 25, this would be your opposite. This would be your adjacent. So again, I would do tangent. Tangent of 25 is equal to x over 18. And then just multiply by 18 slash, you would get your answer through there. Moving on, moving on. So then we said, okay, if you got the answer, and I mean if you got the answer, like I'll show you what they showed us here. If you knew tangent of 30 degrees, if you knew tangent of 30 degrees is approximately equal to 58 tenths or 58 hundredths or 0.58 approximately, then you know tangent of 30 is equal to that, then you could do inverse tangent of this number to give you the degrees. And that's what we figured out here. We used that idea, the inverse sine. Okay, so if we had sine of A is equal to x, then the inverse sine of x is equal to a measured angle A, which is cool. It made us allowed us to work in reverse. So here, they're going to ask for find a measure of angle A. Okay, to find this angle here, I have opposite and hypotenuse. Opposite and hypotenuse is what? Opposite of hypotenuse is sine, right? So you do sine of unknown A is equal to the ratio of 18/23. So that's like my answer already. So to get what A is, I would inverse sine of 2/3. And I would do inverse sine of 2/3, and that would give me angle A. In this situation, angle A turned out to be, what, 41.8-ish? That's it. I think that was like the hardest part right there. That was the hardest. Okay. And then that's it. Last thing that came over here, I didn't get to cover it with y'all too much, but here, I did give you two of these problems right here. If you hear solve the right triangle, that means you better tell me, please tell me, each angle measure, this angle here, and then this side here. Basically, it tells me all side lengths need to be known and all angle lengths need to be known. So basically, solve for everything. That's what solve the right triangle means. Do y'all have any questions, guys? We've just kind of covered. Just as a quick review, I was trying to give you more time to do the work. Anybody want to practice any? We can practice them here. If I go to the next page in the book, we have a whole bunch of practice problems. Do any of y'all want to practice? This is from example 1. This stuff right here is example 2, word problem basically. Example 3. Example 3 and example 2 are basically the same. Okay? This is just words. Diego, which kind do you like? Which one do you want to practice? I'll help you out, brother. Okay, so if you look at 1 through 6, that one I think is just setting them up. Very simple. Like a sine of A. Sine of A is basically saying you've got to remember so get Toa, right? Hold on, come on, work for me. So for these right here, you remember so so I'll go sine A. Okay, sine of A means the ratio of opposite over hypotenuse. Opposite over hypotenuse of A. Okay, where's A? A's right here. So this will be my opposite, and this will be my hypotenuse. So that one is basically like 16/20. That's okay. It's right, but let's simplify it. I'll divide them both by, I'll go with 4. That gives me 4/5. So the answer for 1 is the sine of A is equal to 4/5. Okay? Do we have the calculator? Okay, let's do that one. You're talking about the last ones, right? The last ones where you have to use the calculator? Okay, you know what? Example 4 and yeah, okay. Example 3 and 4. I'll look at example 3. I'll do number 8. Okay. So sorry about that. When it comes to this part here, they're going to want you to find x. X is this side here. This is a right triangle. So first kind of establish this. This is my right triangle. This is my leg, hypotenuse, right? Now, which leg, for sure that has to be a hypotenuse. Which leg did they give you, according, if looking at 52, what leg did they give you? They gave you the opposite. So you see O and H? Remember, that's going to be for so, the Toa, right? So I'm going to come out here and say, okay, sine of 52 degrees is equal opposite x over 13. Okay? Now, when it comes to that right there, that right there, Diego, you can do end solve. It's cool if you do it. I just prefer you do it by hand. just so you can practice this idea. So there's this number here is equal to a number or unknown x over another number. How do you get this one here alone? I'm multiplying by that number, okay, whatever it is. So I'm going to do that same thing here. I'm going to have sine of 52 is equal to x over 13. I will multiply this whole thing by 13, and I'll multiply this side by 13. These will cancel out, leaving me with x is equal to, this you have to type in the calculator, I'm sorry, sine of 52 degrees. So now when you type in the calculator, and it gives you the answer x. Pretty cool, right? Not too bad. It's not too bad. Morning, Jocelyn. Glad you could join us, sister. Okay. Now, let's come over here to number 4. This one right here, you're going to have to use that inverse sine, inverse cosine, inverse tangent, and so forth. So let's go and look at number 12. We're going to find angle Z. So angle Z is the one they want us to look at. According to angle Z, there's this right triangle. They're giving us the side opposite and the hypotenuse. So again, that one's going to be sine for me. If you think about this, remember, so there are my measurements there. So I'm going to come out here and go sine of angle Z is equal to 5 over 9. So if you think about this one, you already know what sine of Z is. You already know the answer, but you want to find out what the angle Z is. So for this one right here, when you have this is what I'm telling you, this is it makes math sense to me. I'm not going to divide by sine. I'm going to multiply by the inverse sine. Okay? Just saying that it looks right to me. Okay? Because I know this really is that I'm dividing by sine. If I divide sine by sine in my head, the exact same thing over the exact same thing cancels out. I'm just going to write it like this. So I'm going to multiply this side. If you don't mind, I'll multiply it by the inverse sine slash I'm dividing it. These cancel out, and I'm left with Z is equal to, you have to type this into your calculator. Hope that helped you out. Now, one next idea that I kind of didn't cover with you, but it was just to save time. When it says solve the right triangle, well, when you solve this right triangle, you have to find the angles here. If you're looking for the angles here, that's basically, let me zoom out. A little more. So on number 15, it says solve the right triangle. Well, do you see how this one over here, I use the inverse signs? I use sine inverse. So you're going to have to use this idea to figure out the angles. And then to figure out this side length here, you're going to have to use this part over here. This idea. All right? Where you set it up and then use multiply by the numbers to get to the other right side. Going once, going twice. How do y'all feel? Okay, well, right now you have an assignment, guys. I'm going to let you go. I'm going to be here. Diego, you need help? Please don't. I'll help you out. I'll guide you through. Okay, I gave you 17 questions because I really like this section. Guys, if you're not getting pushed, it's kind of like boring. You know it's true. When you freaking try, it's tough, and you get a good grade, that's when it counts. So that's why I gave you 17 questions. I believe this is very satisfying if you get it. This is pretty cool right here. Not that many people use this stuff. Not that many people can say I can use it and get that stuff. No. You guys should be able to say you can do it now. But if you need help with it, I'm going to be here. If you want to present, whatever it takes to get a good grade, let me know. It's not due till later anyways, but get it done right now. I don't want to sit in there doing nothing. You have about 40 more minutes in class. So do it and talk to me if you need help, guys.